Media full today of the media sector in trouble. PBL Media's value, according to ABN AMRO media analyst Fraser McLeish, valuing PBL Media at zero, saying that the TV advertising market has weakened significantly in the last few weeks. So not a good time, you'd think, to be alienating half the population in your advertising.
Therefore, very timely that we get some fresh research really pointing now to the way women are being turned off by many ads that are ironically meant to be aimed fair and squarely just at them.
Yeah, well, joining us now to talk about this research is Amanda Stevens from Splash Consulting. Amanda, thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Firstly, just take us through the key findings of the research.
What we wanted this research to do is look at exploring the link between the way that women are portrayed in advertising and marketing and two issues, one being their advancement in the workplace and secondly being the sexualisation of young girls. So we wanted to really explore what women's attitudes were between, advertising and marketing and those two issues.
And what did you find?
Overwhelmingly, 89% of women tell us that they feel that the way that women are portrayed in the advertising and marketing industry affects their advancement in the workplace. And then 68% of those women told us that the advertising and marketing industry that they feel contributes or has some level of responsibility for this ongoing issue we have, which is the sexualisation of young girls.
Was any of that surprising to you? That it sounds to be...
We knew that there would be some link based on some other qualitative. We do research on a qualitative level every week. So women were bringing this up unprompted, particularly mothers. The sexualisation of young girls is such a big issue for mothers. And, this really flies in the face of the, recommendations of the Senate inquiry, basically saying, well, hey, it's parents' responsibility, but let me tell you, from speaking to mothers on a weekly basis, they are, they're busy. Most of them are working. They're sleep deprived. They're time poor. They simply don't have the resources and the time to protect their 10-year-old daughter from the bombardment of messages that they get in the media. You only have to turn on video hits at 7 o'clock on a Saturday morning to see what young girls are faced with in terms of sexualisation.
It was interesting, the strategy that BBC Worldwide rolled out this week in announcing a deal to go and bring its programs to Foxtel, specifically CBeebies, which is aimed at children. They're not going to carry advertising at all, saying we don't want that target group to get so many mixed messages. How do you see that as a possible solution?
What a great kind of initiative from them, and that, I think that's what mothers are wanting. They're not saying, hey, we absolve ourselves from responsibility. They realise that, at the end of the day, they're responsible for their children, but for commentators to say, well, it's quite easy, if you don't like it, turn the TV off, or if you don't like the fact that department stores are carrying G-strings for 6-year-olds, don't buy them. I think that's a really naive and quite unrealistic argument. Mothers are just saying, we want you to work with us and be on our side.
Obviously the media sector is facing tough times as it is. We've got this news about PBL Media with this zero valuation. We've seen APN today, with a profit downgrade. How much of an impact financially does this have? Are they turning women off?
Yeah, I think what's really interesting, we've just released a book on marketing to women, and the key message out of that is that overall women, 80% of women say that advertisers don't get them, and yet women make 80% of purchase decisions, so there's a real disconnect there.
And not only that, but you could argue that women are now making up a large percentage of those in the advertising industry it's no longer a male bastion.
There is still a bit of a disconnect there. 80% of advertising is, senior male creators in this country, senior creators in this country are still male, so we still do have a disconnect. But the key message to come out of our book is that it doesn't actually matter whether you're male or female. Marketing to women, there's a science behind it. It's about understanding the key differences between men and women and applying that in a really scientific and strategic way to the way that you're creating ad messages to make sure that they do connect with women on an emotional level rather than alienating them.
Can you put a figure on it? What the financial impact is for bad advertising?
Look, I would say it's in the billions of dollars. When you look at the figures, when you look at certain industries where women are making more and more purchase decisions, we're not just talking the supermarket checkout. Women are now making the majority of car purchase decisions, 52% of hardware decisions. There's no industry that really shouldn't be waking up and understanding women and their lives.
What did you base your formula for success on? You've come out with this book. You must have modelled the successful strategies on a market that's doing it correctly. If so,
Yeah.
who's doing it right and how?
It was more about what we did is we've actually worked with a team of neuroscientists. So what we've done is really take that kind of scientific body of research into how the male and female brains differ and apply that, overlay that with social trend research, understanding, you know, what's going on with modern women, and then using the fusion of those two bodies of research to I guess, outlay a model. It's quite an objective 10-step model for attracting, retaining and maximising a loyal female customer base. It's a methodology we call she marketing, and it's about saying to companies, you know, you just need to understand, recognise those core differences, that men and women are different, and it's about embracing those differences and applying that in a really objective way to make sure that you are connecting with women, not just for the short term but also for the long term.
So that old adage, though, of, you know, sex sells, I mean, is that something that, you know, the traditional media and advertisers need to just ignore? That
Yeah, look, it's one of the 8 myths that we outline in the book about marketing to women, and the short answer to that is yes, sex might sell, but only in the short term. When you look at where the true financial potential for marketing to women is, it's brands that are committed to the long term and looking at, you know, implementing strategies that extract that value, lifetime value in terms of word of mouth, referrals and long-term loyalty. So essentially, does sex sell? It never really did if you're wanting to, you know, extract long-term value. It might give you a short-term sales spike, but if you look at it long-term, where the dollars are, then it's not the most appropriate strategy.
great to have you in, telling us about all that research. Amanda Stevens there from Splash Consulting. Thank you.
Right.